Hi everyone, and welcome back to these February energies here 2025, and I hope you're doing well. Uh, all kinds of dynamics. There are tests and initiations happening, for some people, it can be maybe more challenging. For some people, they may feel more lightness. It depends when we are energetically, and also on which station of identity, right? And whether, we're still stuck in a 3D matrix, 1, 2, 3 chakras, or, we're ascending. But of course, with that, there are ascension symptoms. And, it's time to be really spiritual, and time to really dive deep within, and time to going back to basics, going back to nature, going back to that 0 point divine neutrality, God matrix, the source of our genesis. Because here we were stuck in a matrix, computer simulation, virtual reality, with all these frequency fences, and those negative aliens. They've been wreaking havoc here for thousands of years, okay, through us, whether through humanity or also through star seeds or those who've been hybridized, okay. So we need to address that, and it is the shadow, and here we're the galactics, or the kind of guardians. Here we're addressing the universal shadow, which comes from these galactic wars that's been happening for millions of years. And today actually I'll be focusing, again, this is for my soul group, right? That's the Marines or the Pleiadians stuck in Hydra, in those black projects, black ops, the CCP, Secret Space Program of that negative faction. We're dealing with the shadow military industrial complex, right? Kind of the so-called the deep corrupted state, DARPA, okay? To me, everything leads to DARPA. And so, well, that's again, whatever the transmissions I'm receiving, the downloads, right? And all these trainings and just kind of revelations, however you want to call it. I have to embody these things here in that physical plane, right? So, walking, talking, going to work, dealing with people and their structure, their hologram, part-time job, some friends. Actually, I received some acupuncture. It was excellent, for my interesting hybrid body. And of course, I received medical qigong massage with reflexology. That I can see how people's energy, some of them, they really who've done the inner work, transformational work, who are doing the healing, how their energy is expanding and blossoming, and it's being refined and cleansed and purified. And so there's lots of wonderful things happening for those people who are sticking to, that namaste, to that 0 point, being in the heart structure, who are praying, meditating, who have spiritual practice, who do meditation each and every day. And whether, is the medical qigong or yoga, Ayurveda, acupuncture, right? There's all these healing modalities out there, as long as we're in our heart. And so that's what matters. Because like I said, the AI, there's lots of also AI being implemented in some of these kind of so-called healing communities and so on. And again, if we're not fully embodied, right, the AI is so advanced, it can trick us, or for some people, right, it can be total takeover if you don't know how to override the AI structure, especially of those negative aliens, of those black magicians in DARPA, right, those sorcerers. And I represent the bloodline, right, especially from that mother's side. That's the Slovak villages. And of course, I represent the Anunnaki side. That's my father bloodline, okay. And also, and at the same time, Rosicrucian. So like those are like the rogue Pleiadians, and the Anunnaki also from Mars, or Anunnaki from Nibiru. And we've been all reptilianized here, draconized, however you want to call it. Especially also who those come from the bloodlines, or the royalty, right? The monarchy and so on. So the pharaoh kind of lineages. So you can actually Google these interesting, well, interesting, I mean, all these things, you know, on Ascension Glossary, Lisa Rain, Energetic Synthesis, because that's cosmic, it comes directly from guardians. So the material, it's pure, it resonates with me 100%, and you know, it's transmitted and transcribed via Lisa Rainey, and you know, her material and so on, and of course how humanity has been sold out thousands of years ago by those you know, the interesting Anunnaki, including Mr. Thoth, Thoth, okay, in ancient Egypt. And again, whether you believe it or not and so on, is interesting war that is happening. There's lots of chaos, there's lots of confusion, so keep it simple, keeping it simple, and being simple, humble, modest, honest, you know, just basic Christian stuff, you know, walking with Christ or Holy Mother, Divine Mother, right? And just being in love with your soul, being in love with yourself, having relationship to yourself and relationship to God, to source, to all that is, right? To me, those are the golden nuggets, you know, and learning from our lessons. So that's the pearl of wisdom that we are sharing with others, and that's what my videos represent. This is my journey. Again, take only what resonates with you, right? And I'm here to inspire you, empower you, giving you information based on my direct experiences and the way I interpret it through my soul signature, energy signature, through my operational system, right? So that's the Raja Yoga, and also being devoted, dedicated to the soul Rishi, Satya Sai Baba, Mahatavar Babaji, and so on. That's the Bhakti Yoga, devotion, okay? And I am a tantric practitioner, so maybe we can do a little bit of chanting. I forgot to show you chakras last time, right? The whole chakra system, chakra column, because that's what helped me to heal from that black magic, from that black goo, from these electrostatic bodies, right? So we started with red, orange, yellow, green, blue, you know, indigo, and purple or white, okay? So and we have these bija mantras: lam, vam, ram, yam, hum, right? So those guys in the military, the Pleiadians, in Hydra, you know, in the stereostic organizations, okay, the souls from Tara, that's the 5D Earth, that was the third seeding of humanity, right? We're detecting them and helping them, and here we're creating project, right? I told you it's the Rehabilitation project for DARPA is from the Ashtar Galactic Command, right? It's under the Law of One Galactic Codex, and you know, that's the HIEROS GAMOS, Inner Balance to Sacred Marriage. And again, Creative Commons, there's this license, okay? So, and it's actually contract. You can see it on yanakalai.com/services, okay? And so this is kind of what I am now building, this kind of structure. Yeah, there are, well, from black magic to white magic. I mean, because some of those are highly deviant souls, Rosicrucians. I mean, this is the energy we read. Archetypes, okay? We read the energy of the soul, we read the energy of the bloodline, we read the energy you know, of let me see, those are well, archetypes. It means it's a mystery. It's you know, it's bloodline of your soul, also of your oversoul. And also we can see some those are the soul group, those, yeah, archetypes of my soul group. So I you know, it's very clear, you know, we have now access to the Akashic records, so we can recognize each other, as long, you know, as long we are, you know, working on ourselves, activating our DNA and so on, and kind of dismantling the 3D ego mind, the Nazi Neuralink, right, the nanobots. You know, there's a 12D Ascension protocol for that, how to detox, and there's a alien implant module also on Ascension Glossary, Energetic Synthesis as well, guys. So, and so there's the Creative Commons.org licenses, right? So there's the contract, then the licensor grants you the rights contained here in consideration of acceptance of such terms and conditions. So it's from the Crystal Star family, and those who want to start with their HIEROS GAMOS calibration manual is on Energetic Synthesis, and you can, guys, download that again for super soldiers or those augmented, right, soldiers and so on from, you know, Hydra. You know, it's for DARPA, for the elite, for the Cabal, for the Illuminati, of course, for the Anunnaki, for you know, Draco. I mean, again, human form. I'm focusing on human form. Of course, we have aliens in non-human forms, right? The alien races. You can study this book and you can see. But here, those are star seeds. Here are indigo warriors, right? Who ended up in those terroristic organizations, dark projects, right? And then who were drafted, to Moon, Mars, those planetary corporations, whether in the Hydra, the Scorpio, we have Kruger, right? What is it, Monarch, MK Ultra Monarch, MK Ultra Montauk. Okay, these kind of interesting projects, because these kids are groomed, right? Those who receive interesting kind of DNA enhancements from those Dracos or from Zetas or from Drax, right? Those guys, children are being mind controlled, and they're severely, fragmented. Their soul is fragmented or fractured. The mind is compartmentalized. They're extremely traumatized. Here we focus on trauma-based mind controlled. And they're born. They can be born in those satanic families, right? But also some of us, the starseeds, we're being detected by the good ETs and by those rogue aliens, right? And it's just really a war between the dark and light, right? Between the good and evil, and it's a galactic and it's cosmic, and it's it is supersonic, it's interstellar. I mean, it's multidimensional. So the empath sensitives, right, who understand there's energy, we're sound, light, frequency, vibration, we're 99.9% energy. So my videos are for those, okay? And we need to go to that 0 point divine neutrality. We are actually experiencing the times of Lemuria, resurrecting the times of Lemuria, but Atlantis. Let me see, actually, Lisa Renee, she talks about it, that we are now, let me see, where is that? We are experiencing time in, these are, this on Earth is Orion invasion timelines, and also is the timelines, the history from Sumerian Egyptian invasion. And our memories of humanity has been erased, and we are in a false timeline of history, okay? And so it is a consciousness trap with all this mind control that we've been here, kind of under spell, all this spelling, right? And all this dichotomy. And the problem is, if we don't have the accurate human historical records, and if we cannot remember who we truly are and what happened to us, how in the world can we heal, and how can we correct all these things, and how can we really move forward, right? And so on, so coming down, our emotions, balancing our emotions, purifying our minds, deprogramming ourselves, rewiring our subconscious mind, opening the third eye, detoxing, and of course the unity vow, unity meditation on everything's on my website, and I'll go over the fine print for starseeds and for indigo. And here also there's a quote from Edward Bernays. Okay, he was the pioneer in the field of propaganda. So we've been here living in total lies and deception, all this propaganda, and here people worshiping government instead of God within. And in Bible, Yahshua is saying the kingdom of heaven is within. So this is our duty and responsibility to take time for ourselves, to take a deep breath, feel that love, warmth that is within that heart, sacred chamber of our heart. There's the divine spark, okay? And start really connecting, reconnecting. Just taking time, slowly but surely, each and every day, and, expanding that love that comes from within, and the truth and the wisdom, everything comes from within. All the answers to our questions, right? It's all when we dive deep within, we come down, we slow down, we say some prayers, some meditation, maybe some violet flame invocation, right? And we also, you can put that golden dome of protection of Solar Christ, Archangel Michael. So that's why these teachings, and whatever Elizabeth Clare Prophet, they were practicing with her husband Mark in Montana. They had like the summit, Summit Lighthouse there, how important these teachings were, you know, even though it was done in 50s, 60s, in 50s, 60s, 70s, and so on, 80s, right? Because this is the true energy behind the Constitution of 1776, Ascended Masters, about the Bill of Rights, we're all equal, right? The Declaration of Independence, it all comes from universal laws. That's where we're implementing the Galactic Codex, and we are aligning ourselves with the law of one, with the universal laws. And here with the cosmic sovereign law, we're, you know, also represent the energy of guardians. We are bringing the cosmic energies here, so we can finally you know, heal ourselves from all these alienation, these alien implants, from all these hybridizations, from reversals in our DNA, from these galactic wars, okay? And, you know, and that's also helping, and it sprinkles down to humanity, where we're also helping humanity with their transition and with their ascension, with their healing, with their transformation. You know, everything is interconnected, right? Law of one. Law of oneness, law of correspondence, right? Law of interconnectedness, right? One person suffers, right? It's like we all suffer because we all come from God, from source, from oneness, from all that is, okay? And so he was the father of public relations, right? The Edward Bernays. And just here's the quote: the conscious and intelligent manipulation of the organized habits and opinions of the masses is an important element in democratic society. Those who manipulate, remember he wrote it either 1920s or 1940s, right? Those who manipulate this unseen mechanism of society constitute an invisible government, which is the true ruling power of our country. How important to understand, you know, the shadow, and how important to really work on ourselves and transmute the shadow, so then we can recognize and differentiate, you know, in political arena, military arena, science, you know, what's the entertainment industry, the academia, school, right, the media, press, and you know, medical industry, right? How important, right? Because here we've been ruling by the invisible government. We're governed, the minds of people are molded, right? Their tastes formed and their ideas being suggested, the law of suggestion. And now is they're messing up with our brainwave frequencies, satellites, right? Psychotronic weapons, all this silent war is under the Galactic Codex, right? Again, I can go over maybe the Galactic Codex. You know, you can actually find it either on my website or, you know, 2012. It's a blog from a Cobra, 2012 portal. Yeah, that's you can find it there. Okay, and so largely by men that we have never heard of. And it's done by the elite, is done by the elite, like, oh, that we don't see. People think, oh, the politicians are there and putting all these policies and regulations and enforcing another law and another executive branch, but behind the scenes, people don't understand they're black magicians. You know, it's DARPA, it's Hydra, it's you know, they're from moon, they're from Mars with their satellites, with their highly advanced technologies, right? Because people forgot that, you know, we used to be you know, ETs, like, you know, what ETs, highly advanced civilizations here on Earth, as Lemuria, Atlantis, right? The Earth used to be Tara, 5D or 7D Gaia, right? So there's a huge big history behind all this, and everything's now transpiring multidimensionally. And so, and we have to heal from all this trauma, from, you know, Lemurian Holocaust, from Atlantean cataclysm, right? And so the new Earth rising, or the new Atlantis rising, right, with all the teachings of the Ascended Masters, not by those black magicians, but the Master Raider races, right? Those Leviathans, and what is the Leviathans, and the Hyksos, and the Canaanites worshiping the Baal, right? The Moloch thing, again, return to rightful honor, right? All this Satanism, Luciferianism, and the Luciferian covenant that happened the 12,000 years ago, and these bloodline families, they were groomed into this kind of black occult, into dark, the death cult, into this darkness. Okay, and they understand, they know the Atlantean history. So it's also for humanity, and of course, those star seeds, we know we're resurrecting these codes of ascension of the original teachings of the ascended masters, and of these beautiful energies of especially of Lemuria, of Holy Mother, Divine Mother, okay, and the divine union, the divine feminine, masculine with the divine feminine, right? It's all merging within us. That's the proton and the electron and so on, okay, the RNA, DNA, and so on, right? The chromosomes and mitochondria, it's all merging together as one in peace, unity, via grace, the law of grace. So this is a logical result of the way in which our democratic society is organized. So it means in America, right? People don't even really understand, the true original constitution, the true teachings being suspended a long time ago. And that's the if you understand energies, there was lots of darkness being here around the entire globe, but the United States corporation. Okay, so the vast numbers of human beings must cooperate. They must cooperate in this manner if they are to live together as a smoothly functioning society. It means, the way I interpret, like, they must comply in order to have jobs, to have money, if they want a family, support their family. So it means they must comply to those rules of those black magicians, of those reptilians, of those Dracos, of those hybrid Anunnaki, Nazi faction, and with their Zeta looking glass technology. Okay, so in most every act of people's daily life, whether in the sphere of politics or business, in a social conduct or ethical thinking, people are dominated by the relatively small number of persons who understand the mental processes. Well, those German scientists, right? I mean, especially the Nazis, and under Project Paperclip, right? Very powerful. Those are Anunnaki. Some of the Anunnaki Rosicrucians, they came over here to America after World War II and infiltrated the entire infrastructure. And unfortunately, some of those, whether Nazis or Rosicrucians, it was done against their will. Again, if I read the energy, if I connect to my also soul family, which is the Nazi Pleiadian family, I see how many of them they were under reptilian spell, and they had to read the script of those black magicians in those higher places, density, the Dracos on Moon, Saturn with their satellites, the Orion group was ruling here, the Chimera group was ruling here, right? The Black Dragon mob, and in Vatican there was the Black Pope, right? But those are the Black Sun operatives, right, of the satanic nature with that Luciferian covenant. So this is, to me, very important to understand that, so we can finally shine the light. We can shed the light on all that, and through the transformational work, right? The Ashram yoga centers, the energy healing, right? I mean, what I'm experiencing, the Qigong, Ayurveda, yoga, acupuncture, and so on, diving deep within, meditation, Zen gardens, right? That's how we overcome. That's how we transform, transcend, and start co-creating the new earth, right? Or we are already co-creating it, through our thoughts, feelings, and actions, through our deeds. So very important to be mindful and, to be aware, and of course to be thankful and grateful, walking those energies, right? That's the 5D protocol from Telos, just trusting ourselves, believing in ourselves, loving ourselves, right? Being devoted, dedicated to our projects, to the divine, to God, to source, right? Embracing, knowing our gifts and talents and sharing them with others, and how to be grateful and thankful each and every day. And really, each and every day, remind ourselves who we truly are. We're the light divine. And so this is the relatively small number of people who understand the mental processes and social patterns of the masses. Well, the thing is, they're targeting starseeds because we know you. I see you. We see you. We know who you are. Okay, we know because I have the DNA. And even though starseeds, I'm on here Christos mission to fulfill the Palladian covenant. I do represent the bloodline families, whether is the Mossad, the Zionists, the ISIS, these kind of hybridized and reptilianized Hebrews. Okay, this is what I represent. Okay, So I know their psychology. I know how they operate and what happened to me, the brutal abuse and violence. Now I know the suffering and the pain that those children in those bloodlines, they go through. And then they grow up as adults and understand their psychopathy. I understand their dissociation. I understand that some of them, I mean, their bodies, nothing but their empty shells for those negative entities to come in and possess that body. Okay. And you know, this what we are differentiating here, and we are recognizing all that, and we are transforming, transmuting that, okay, raising our frequency vibration, implementing the Galactic Codex, so that the good ETs, right, they're watching and observing us on their spaceship and spacecraft, you know, can finally help us. There's a guardian intervention. This is a must, because we've been here dumbed down for so long in such an intense way, and those negative forces, they disrespected the mother nature, the law, right, the universal law to such an extent, it's unfathomable. All these criminal activities with MK Ultra, with all this mind control, with silent weapons, right, that we need help, you know, from cosmos, from this galaxy, and from those good ETs, whether it's from Pleiades, from Arcturus, from Andromeda, from Sirius, right? So we need all that, and of course it's all going to be frequency vibration. Are you resonating, you know, are you the good vibe, or are you the bad vibe? Are you high vibration or low vibration, right? Or being detached, I'm this world but not of it, right? Know yourself and be free, right? The kingdom of heaven is within, and walking with Christ and with morals, ethics, virtues, right? So this is what I am building for my community, for my cell group. And again, you know, I can talk forever, but you know, those time, like a small number of persons, and you know, it's the elite, the echelon, of course, you know, the negative aliens, and you know, the planetary corporations, they're pulling those strings, they're pulling the wires which control the public mind. Guys, this is from 20s, 40s, okay? Edward Bernays here, okay? So this is nothing new under the sun. So this statement is a sample of the engineering of consent without the person having awareness of what they have given consent to through manipulation. That's why we study here the darkness. That's why we study the yoga, the mindfulness, the transcendental meditation, so we can snap out of that black magic hologram. We can snap out of that virtual reality, from that false matrix, the movie Matrix, right? This whole AI of the draconian, of the Dracos, and even from extremely vicious races from the Visa system. We've been here in blended reality. So this is a good time to inquire on personal consent and authority, and to remove all that may have been usurped in the past, present, and future. So there are these beautiful exercises, guys, you know, how, again, the 12D shielding, you know, and this is being in your heart, being in your mind, and just connect to your higher self. Very important, right? And just kind of, you know, focusing on healing, you know, your self-care, self-love, forgiveness, compassion, right? Very important. And terminate all these mind control programs and loaded scripts, right? You can terminate all the belief systems that stand between my inner truth and my sovereignty. You can stop all that. And there's this, let me see, return to rightful honor, right? Here, this is again for my soul group, right? As the 12D avatar, again, I'm helping them, right? You know, I'm kind of, yeah, just kind of helping all that, helping them. So as the 12D avatar and the light of God that I am, I cancel all contracts and agreements that I have made with any entity, guide in this timeline or in any reality that were not in my highest alignment and expression of my light source in the law of one. Okay, I terminate all false matrices, illusions that may have obscured my highest God purpose and soul mission from the past, present, and future. I terminate redemptive vehicle and crucifixion contracts and their related phantom systems from impacting my consciousness and all of my 12 bodies. Remember, the corruption is in 11th dimension. Okay, so Starseeds, my soul group, that's why we talk about the 12D Ascension, 12D shielding, right? How that It is very important, right? The Katara group, the 12 spheres, because the black magicians, right? The Hydra, you know, the DARPA, the octopus, you know, the high echelon, the elite, you know, the Mossad, the Zionists, they were working with the base 10 draconian Metatronic reversals, right? That's why we do the 12D. This is your answer. And now the plasma light frequency is coming online, so we can heal and correct all these reversals. I terminate all false matrices, illusions that may have obscured my highest God purpose and soul mission from past, present, and future. I terminate redemptive vehicle and crucifixion contracts. Remember, all these crucifixion implants and this, instead of this body, right, vessel, right, supposed to, you know, it's the temple of soul, right? Remember, through trauma-based mind control, the soul is split, is actually even taken out. There's a technology, they do soul capturing technology, those negative aliens, those astral black mirrors, right? And there are all kinds of underground military bases, and they invaded the Stargate in Peru, right? Stargate in Machu Picchu, and so on. So that's all now under Galactic Codex, and that all needs to be corrected and all these energies arrested. Okay. And also, I further declare that the cancellation of all such contracts is to be irrevocable, permanent in all time frames and realities. Further, I ask my avatar to return all unity codes, fire letters, jewels, wings, energies, and parts of bodies that have been misdirected or usurped. They were siphoning energies from us, siphoning kundalini, all this sex magic, black magic, right? All this raping, all this satanism, what in the world, right? And connected to that Moloch thing and all this blood covenant, all this soul binding, right? You need to cut those cords, right? Call upon soul of Christ, Archangel Michael. All this teachings been here, right? From Elizabeth, a clear prophet, Dr. Norma Milanovic, the light shall set you free, and so on. So many, there was a soul love, right, from Sanaya. There's all these beautiful books that have been written in 80s, 90s here in the United States. To me, that's the energies of a true America, of the foundation, right, of America, of this continent. And so here we go. Bodies that have been used and asked to return them now to the rightful owner in the name of self-sovereignty, and of course in God's infinite power, walking with Christ and embracing the Holy Mother, Divine Mother, right? I invalidate the beings by commanding full dissolution, dissolve them into the one source, God source light, through the eternal love of forgiveness and forgetfulness. So we have to really forgive all this vengeance and, you know, another proxy war with proxy Israel. No, we have to choose love, we have to choose compassion, we have to implement the compassion formula, into family, into everything we do, right? In politics, exopolitics, right? Here we are the ETs here, okay? There's nothing new under the sun about aliens or ETs, spaceships, spacecrafts, or now drones or cloning technology, cloaking technologies. It's been there in Atlantis, where the humanity, right, the angelic divine luminous race was in 5D, 7D. People are, there are 5-star humans, angelics, with the potential 12 dimension. So, and completely heal and seal my personal aura, right? I mean, we work with aura, with energy field, because all these electronic, I mean, all these, alien implants, holographic inserts, right, in our chakras, right? That's what it is, you know, and especially in the military, right? This whole kind of interesting transhumanism, transgenderism, how they're starting with the, let me see, with the red, right? It's in reverse, right? The whole kind of gay thing in military, right? How it should actually, the red should be down here going up, and how even like I see the symbology, right? Because they desecrated the symbology of the ancient, you know, divine architects, okay? And how, you know, everything is then running reversals, right? So we need to bring everything right side up, right? They were running reversals because those guys been violated, they've been abused, right? So you need to understand how the energy flows in your energy field, because they, for star seeds, right, are very important to get your chakras and get your microscopic orbit flowing, going the proper way. because that's what we've been here in computer simulation, running reversals and constantly going towards past, towards destruction, degradation, dumbing down, violation, torture, rape. Okay, so and through genetic, that's the mind control, gene expression, all these what is that, genetic engineering, through via genetic engineering, all this super soldier, right, all these interesting, you know, unethical experimentations on guys who join military, and also, you know, on children, on human population, women in cages, that was also under Vatican, and so on. So, you know, again, I'm focusing on my you know, my projects and so on, but this is wild, and this is wide, and just very intense and extremely dark. And you know, we just need to know also how to kind of calm down, just kind of take a deep breath and just forgive ourselves. And so many of us, so maybe we just didn't know, right? And all these lies and manipulations that they're coming from extremely high places and densities. How important to really take time for ourselves and do a daily meditation and daily cleansing and prayers and helping others, right? Being of service, or being simple and humble, going back to nature, going back to basics, even simple food, and just have your, you know, room and organize your closet or garage, go through things, go through your papers and so on, you know, so, and start reading spiritual literature. So, and now the beach and everything, there's so many, all these chemtrails, I mean, yeah, and all this fog happening. I had interesting incident that was actually before the Super Bowl. That was February the 8th, right? We're in February energies. Even my previous video was February the 4th. I was saying January. And, you know, but I was just standing there watching where the helicopter, the chopper, right, with the, what is it, the orange, green lights. They were circling around, spraying all kinds of interesting things, because it flew away it flew away, and I just start smelling. There was like the burn, you know, burnt tires, right? And then the helicopter, or the plane, quickly comes back, and it's just probing that area where I used to stand 15 minutes ago. So I don't know what it was. I was stunned, I was frozen, I was just looking at it. But you know I had my protection. I'm like the column of light shining bright, and when it was turning with this laser beams like flashlight against me, right, I know that there was a beam behind me, and there was a light that actually you know, kind of touched that helicopter, and it turned around and flew away from the beach. It flew away west. We were here on the east side by the beach. So, and then you had the Super Bowl, right? And then of course yesterday there was the you know, what is it, the Valentine's Day, right? So I bought myself some flowers, you know. I'm just kind of doing my own thing, because people, they enjoyed their dinner, or they enjoyed their late lunch, but it was all like all this sugary GMO food, GMO strawberries, and I'm like, oh, Namah Shivaya. And people are working hard. I mean, people really mean well, but I see how, you know, we're constantly just kind of recycling. We are being just recycled. The energy, how difficult it's for people, a young generation, they're kind of vaping, right? And how they're depressed, they're having hard time, because the AI is so advanced, guys. The AI is so freaking, sorry, but it's so advanced. Yeah, I apologize. It's very difficult for people. You don't know how to take a deep breath and how to pause and reshuffle these energies, centering for centering. It's a tapping, and you know, I'm just putting out there, maybe, you know, going to you know, doing this massage, and people are not interested. The young generation, don't text me, I'm not interested, I don't care, is the answer that I get. So very interesting, guys, but I hope you are doing well, and hope you are return all energies and essences that are in divine right order now. I call back now all that is my sovereign God power and right. I talk about how important it is to command your space, claim your power back, resurrect all your energies, right? And connect with your soul, you know, embody your soul. We're the light of the soul, being the soul embodied personality, and that's how we are making a difference. Okay, and here I just wanted to quickly the law of structure. This is again for my soul group, and this is for my project. This is for, you know, the ashram, for Hydra. for veterans, right? For Marines, okay? And that's was very important for me to establish it, to embody these energies, so we can then proceed with the project. Very important. So Starseed Indigo, welcome. The fine print, of course, is from energetic synthesis, right? And so here we go. Number 1, divine will is service to others orientation, and is the new plan and law for the changing of the guard being positioned now. Number 2, it was never about you. You just thought so for a while. Your body belongs to the eternal God source and is a vehicle for Crystal's intelligence. You are the returning embodiment of the Crystal's intelligence to the earth as the part of the reclamation of Crystal's mission. Number 3, as the vehicle of Crystal's intelligence, you'll be required to do things your ego personality does not want to do. The path of self-mastery is hard and steep. You will learn how to free and deliver group souls by releasing their bondage to the dark by the power given the truth of the light. You are an emissary and protector of the divine plan and unity logos, the word of God. Number 4, you are to learn how to perfect service to others orientation without imposing your personal will upon others. You are required to have no attachment to the outcome or to the result of your service. Self-interest is now taken to the back seat in order to serve the greater whole to evolve into group consciousness. Number 5, you will be penalized energetically if you persist in manifestation via the manipulation of forces to superimpose your personal agenda or ego will desire. You must master forces of divine inspiration over personal aspiration. You are being tested heavily to build this discernment through dark arts training that is happening now. Number 6, consumptive modeling is completed as law on this planet Earth, right? Therefore, all energies or spirit bodies that have been misdirected or used at the expense of another, all these vampirism and parasitism, siphoning energies, will be balanced back into a perfect equilibrium of the universal forces. Return to the rightful owner is in effect, however, must be claimed in the authority of the embodied Christos in God's authority. Number 7, you have accepted this clause through being physically embodied on the earth at this time of the ascension. You will either leave your body to continue this education into higher learning or stay to serve the others. Okay. So this is actually on my website, yanakalai.com, under contract. So Indigo and Starseeds, you will live in joy through purposeful living. Do not mistake this message as abrupt or insensitive to your heart's desires. Inner peace is waiting inside your heart as you strip the poison of addictive desire from your ego. You are the cosmic sovereign law made manifest for one and for all. Okay, so again, this is the Ascension glossary or energetic synthesis. The for Lisa, this is the Avatar of Ascension project, right? And as a human and enlightened extraterrestrial collaboration, right, with the ES, that's the energetic synthesis community, and the God Sovereign Free Stewards, that's the Crystal Star Intelligence and the Aurora Guardians. I'm God, I'm sovereign, I'm free. So this is the structure, this is the energy we work with, right, to establish this project here, to work on the project, to have a contract, right, with DARPA, with Black Magicians, here with the ground crew, right. There's the divine intervention, the cosmic guardians, the solar rishis, the divine architects are here in this dimension, right. It's all about tuning in, diving deep within, doing the inner work, transformational work. So this is, again, part of that structure, right, for that protocol, for that contract. And here also I talk about, the yoga, the morals, ethics, virtues. So here's 8 steps, yoga, spiritual science, and ancient art of self-development and self-realization. So it is the project for DARPA, right, for the elite, for MC, for Hydra, for Marines. And how important, right, is the ethics of social behavior, which is, your moral compass, yeah. Non-violence, so it means do no harm, not only on that emotional, physical plane, but also mental and spiritual plane, right. Truthfulness and honesty, being always true to ourselves with loving kindness, expressing ourselves. That's how we're opening our fifth chakra, right? That's home, right? And with God's sovereign free boundaries, we all has to protect ourselves and do the 12D shielding, right? The platinum, at least look at, embrace yourself, embrace the platinum light. That's the 12th dimension, or, you know, the salmon shield. Okay, very important. Again, it's not how it's being digressed, and because there's a black magic being done on this sacred symbology. Okay, that's why they call it black sun instead of the golden sun. We are the golden sun. Okay, we're the children. We're the children of God. We're the children of the great central sun. Okay, and those negative aliens, right, with their black hole technologies and with all these inversions, that's why they call themselves, you know, black sun, black horse, black ops, black hawk helicopter, all these you know, kind of black hats operations. Okay, because they are vampires, they are parasites, and they live off of AI that is hooked to our heart. It is hooked to our chakras. We've been empowering, we've been charging their AI's inorganic system. They've done it through this vessel, through my energy field, and making clone or drone out of me to serve their agenda while siphoning my energy that comes from God, from source. That makes zero common sense. That's going to divine justice. It's under the Galactic Codex, is under the law of one, and I represent the cosmic sovereign law. And I talk about the respect, honor, and dignity, how that is extremely important with God's sovereign free boundaries. Okay, so that was very challenging to work on the project, but here also we talk about the control of sexual energies, right? Non-stealing, right? And non-attachment, being inner directed, inner sustained, instead of out there and somebody out there can save me or help me, or money, the materialism, consumerism, right? And another kind of possession, or being obsessed, another what is it, I don't even know how to say that, like another material things and property, and you know how people also, what is it, the ego and the fame and the dogma and this old belief system, and you know, it's just inner directed, inner sustained, how important it is. And so 8 steps of yoga, ethical principle of personal behavior, right? The acceptance, right? The contentment, you know, instead of complaining, judging, right? Well, why am I judging? Why am I being triggered? Soul fragmentation, right? It's from family, is the shadow. So that's why it's important to address and embrace the shadow and transform, transmute it. And that's how we can help transform, transmute the shadow in government, right? The political arena. And I focus on the military, on those black ops, right? The planetary corporations in the entire solar system, in this galaxy. And then it is purity, innocence on all levels, right? I talk about the physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, self-study, self-discipline, right? Surrendering to God, to source. How it is very difficult even for people. And can you imagine for those black magicians that are hooked to AI, or they hook star seeds, right? Or ascended masters, how they desecrated, you know, the teachings of the ascended masters. They are hooked to AI, and now their AI is not working that properly. Now the source of money is not really there anymore, right? How that must be, well, very drastic change for them as well, and how they're acting out. And that's why so many of them, they don't want to surrender. But I represent you know, that, well, the soul group, the platform for my soul group, and even that bloodline, who are surrendering to those, to the guardian protocol, to, you know, the 12D Ascension, who are realizing what happened and they want to do correction, and we have a platform for them. We have a healing project for them, right? So you know, there's the Ashram, you know, the healing center, right, with advanced AI, but it's of that organic faction, and it's the base 12 mathematics, 144 harmonics, is the crystal architecture, is the crystal spiral, right? You can even Google that on Ascension glossary, what that means compared to Fib of no Chi. And yeah, so this is the so the morals, ethics, right? So it's also like the code of conduct, how it's important for my project that I'm establishing. And what else? Return to rightful owner. I have the license, right? That's from Lisa Rainey. That's from energetic synthesis from Crystal Star. That's from Andromeda. That's the project. It's for my soul group, for the Cabal, and for the whole kind of super soldier, for the veteran faction. Okay, for DARPA, for the black magicians there. And how important also is to build your self-esteem. Those who are in those dark projects, right? They need to remember who they are. They need to dive deep within, right? And also how important, what I recognize and what I'm realizing, how people, they think that they're so like in unity and they're so strong, powerful because, they're in this system. Some of them, they don't want to be in the system, and those who really wanted to do something, who were whistleblowers, what happened to them? Like I said, the AI is so advanced, and the SPE, the Parasite Suppressor entity, you can actually find another like a video on Kalyana 82, how it detects how it reads the mind mapping, and how those guys who really wanted to leave the dark project, how they were not allowed. They were tortured even more to be kept in that low 1, 2, 3 running reversals, that satanic forces. So I am, again, I'm an example. I mean, I walk in these energies. I had these horrible experiences that your life will be changed forever. Your life will never be the same. So many people telling me, oh, forget about it, just do your own thing and just kind of go forward with your life. I mean, something like happened to that, right? I want to end this cycle, and I'm here on a Christos mission to fulfill the divine plan on earth. We need to end the cycle of all this grooming, all this Satanism, Luciferianism, right? All these children, who were raped or put on drugs, right? Entertainment industry and in these satanic families, or those children from World War II, those from Jewish family, how they were abducted, put on Moon, Mars, right? And now they have Enki DNA overlays, and they are running reversals, and instead of being ascended masters, they are black magicians. They are the elite, the high echelon, and that's the bloodline I'm related to. Okay. So because of rape, right, that happened in my family, I would say both mother's side, father's side. So there's a responsibility, and we need to, do our best. And, there's a war happening in those extremely high places, like I mentioned at the very beginning, right? Those are the Christos ascended masters. I mean, the from that solo Christ, was Solar Christ, Christos, cosmic races, like Solar Christ, Archangel Michael, right? The Order of Melchizedek, the blue flame, because we're establishing the cosmic order here. Because the OTO, right, the secrecy, the elite of the negative faction, they were running the law of reversals with highly advanced AI, right? The technology that comes from even good ETs, and they were reversing all that, right? Reversing the spin in our DNA, in that sacred geometry, totally controlling our mind. And they had us as slaves in this prison planet with all these frequency fences, with all these satellites, and with all these silent weapons. So this is all going to divine justice, right? Justice will be served is all under the Galactic Codex, okay, or Universal Codex, or it's it's going to divine justice, and justice will be served. So, and of course, in my previous videos, guys, I know I wanted to talk about the whole black magic. And nobody probably wants to hear about the Belial programs, the mind control, right? Let me see. I have World War II timelines, Hitler, because I still I know I was going to talk about actually Hitler's personality from farsightprime.com or .org, I don't know. You can actually you can watch there was a remote viewing on Adolf Hitler and his personality, and what those two experts on remote viewing, what they were saying about, well, Adolf Hitler. They actually didn't know, they were talking about him. Okay, that's the remote viewing. And of course here, the death cult, right? The negative aliens, they protect those who are in death cult. So you see, those Satanists, Luciferians who are doing horrible things, but they're under the spell of the Orion group, of the Chimera group, of those negative aliens, right? In that invisible world, and in those draconian bodies or reptilians bodies. Okay, so the death cult, if you guys, Ascension glossary, if you want to read about this, I may mention it next time, just to kind of you know, how deep we went with all this Belial Sun Anunnaki hybrids, how deep it runs in those families that bloodline also I represent. Okay, so this is the bloodline also that I represent, that healing, and the Pleiadians are mixed in this. Yeah, the hybrid Anunnaki Nazi Pleiadian faction, those dark projects, in this black occult, those German secret societies, right? And that Adolf Hitler also represent, and the anti-life society, because humanity's inner light of the creator, this is, we need to protect ourselves, the inner light, the soul energy that is within us, right? It is the organic and natural consciousness. So we have this inner spirit that connects us directly to God, to source. Okay, and we're not sinners. We're here ending the suffering. We start remembering who we truly are, because all these lies, right, they wanted to control us, and totally they damage our thinking and damage our self-esteem. So building self-esteem is extremely important to exit this whole Luciferian, black magic, satanic kind of faction, all these codes running in reverse, right? And here that they're celebrating this blood ritual, right? Those are the fallen angelics. It's all the celebration of impurity and depravity, right? That's what is now being uncovered in the world, and we have to be the true spiritual warriors, the defenders of truth and divine justice, make a difference. So be the change you want to see in the world, okay? And just make sure you take time for yourself, you take care of yourself, you love yourself, right? And just implement the compassionate formula into everything, because it's the beautiful energies, the cosmic energies are here. We're ascending, and know that all is well. Many blessings and namaste. I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.